changes.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Trunks, and today I'm bringing you guys some Town Hall 11 and Town Hall 10 3-star attacks. We just recently had a war, and we had some huge attacks taking out some big old bases for you guys, so I thought I'd go ahead and exclusively bring you guys these 3 stars and show you what we were doing. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and jump into the first one. It's going to be Sebastian. He's going to come in with the Go La Loon on this one. We'll go ahead though and get this one going for you guys. As you can see, he recognizes up in the top that he can drop a single bowler to go ahead, take out that gold mine to create a nice funnel. It also takes out the mortar as well, which can't take out the bowler, and then he just has minions working on taking out the trash buildings on the top, so that way when his troops come down, they're not going to wander off to the top side. He's going to sneak in a few wall breakers, gets a little split on them, but then he gets that Barb King down, so that way the Barb King opens up that wall, and then he's going to have all of his bowlers go into the space with the Queen, and then the Grand Warden has a dragon and baby dragon with a balloon come out of the clan castle, but he gets that poison down to just cover them, and it also covers the Queen just a little bit, so that way her attack speed is slowed down, and then he pops that Barb King ability once his troops get inside of that core. He's going to get that Inferno Tower down, and then the Queen is just going to work on taking out a few additional buildings as well. With the Grand Warden still helping, he has that Golem on the bottom side tanking still on that Expo, and then he's going to just come in with the La Loon portion around the backside of the base, has his hounds perfectly deployed with his balloons following behind, has the haste spells down, all of the air skellies pop, and then he perfectly gets that free spell down covering the air skellies, so the lava pups are able to take them out. He also gets the Teslas and the Inferno in there, and then he has the rage spell down to get over to that backside eagle before it can do too much damage. The Queen and Warden are still on the backside working on the cleanup. But he basically just demolishes his base. He's got a handful of balloons still standing, and then he has a ton of lava pups working on the cleanup. Just overall wrecks this base though with the Go La Loons. As you can see, serious strategy for the Town Hall 11s. If you can do air, that is a very strong attack right now in the current meta. But we'll go ahead and show you another one. We have Kieran coming in. He's going to come in with the Golem, Witches, and Bowler attack. As you can see, he's going to start off with a few Witches and Bowlers on the bottom side. There's no splash on the outside, so the Witches are able to spawn their Skellies, and then the Bowlers are able to come in and clear out that funnel on the bottom side and take out the buildings without taking too much damage. And then he's going to have the Golems out in front tanking, gets a jump spell down, so that way when he drops his heroes and the rest of his Witches and Bowlers, when they go into the core, those Golems will be tanking, and the Eagle as well as the Clan Castle will lock onto them, while the Witches just stand in the back with the Bowlers underneath a rage. They're able to drop pretty much the core of this base really quick, and then right as the Eagle is shot for the second round, his Witches and Bowlers in the core step up out of the range and then are able to get that Eagle down. And then he just basically has a jump spell leading to the backside Inferno, and he gets a heal down prior, so that way all of his troops go into that last Inferno with full health. But with the Witches and the Bowlers in the core of the base, he's going to overwhelm that last Inferno, as well as the Wizard Towers and the Bomber Tower. They just can't keep up with the Witches. And then the Queen's going to step up and just start picking off these buildings. He finally pops the ability on the backside, and the Queen starts taking out some of these point defenses. But he's got a huge wave of Witches and Bowlers now coming on the bottom side. They're eventually going to make their way around this base. He's got the Barb King tanking at the top as the Queen is just picking off the additional point defenses. But like I said, that Grand Warden and the Bowlers with the huge wave of Witches are going to make their way around to the backside, and the last 2 point defenses are not going to be able to compensate for the amount of Skellies that will be coming from those Witches. So this base is pretty much done. Like I said, another strategy as well, if you can recognize that a lot of the splashes in the core and not around the edges, going with the golem bowlers, in which strategy is a viable option. We'll go ahead and look at this one. We have Nihilus coming in. He's going to show you pretty cool attack on this one. He recognizes down at the bottom that there is only a few point defenses, and then the rest is splash. So he's going to get down some minions right in the beginning to go ahead and get rid of the trash buildings. And then he's able to get his queen down. She's only going to have that archer tower on her, so it's not going to be too much damage. And then he's going to come with a giant to tank that cannon and then just wall breaker in. And the giant will tank long enough so that way the queen is able to get that cannon down. And at this point, she is free to move through the bottom because that Expo is locked on to the Barb King, and he is able to tank long enough so that way the queen can step up and get this Inferno Tower down. He pops ability right before the Expo is about to take her out, and then she's going to just clean up some of this trash. And then at this point, he's going to just come in with 2 hounds to the bottom air defense, and then he's just going to Laloon the rest of the base. Has a haste leading his troops right in to that first air defense. Gets a poison down on the queen to slow her down as the balloons are working around. The pups start working on her a little bit, but she continues to beat on his troops, but that is fine because he's going to have enough to overpower this base. Gets a freeze down on the backside as his Laloon is working around to prevent that Inferno from doing too much damage to his groups of balloons. And then he has a final haste to get, or he has actually 2 more. He gets 1 down so that way he's able to get into a last air defense relatively quick. The queen is still standing in the core of the base, but he's got plenty of balloons now since there's no more air targeting defenses, and they are just going to work their way around cleaning up the trash. He still actually has a lava hound that hasn't popped either. I believe the queen will eventually step up and actually pop that lava hound for him, and then the pups from that are going to go ahead and just help with the cleanup and finish off this base. He's able to swag a haste spell. So as you can see, the Laloon is not just exclusive to the Town Hall 10. It can, or Town Hall 11, it can be used at Town Hall 11 as well. And we'll go ahead and take a look at one more Town Hall 10 attack. As you can see, he's got a bunch of trash on the outside. So B and Z is able to get a few wizards down on the top side and just go ahead and start clearing out some of that trash. Before they step up into the range of that cannon, he's going to get a golem down to start tanking, and then he's just going to wall breaker in on the top side of the base, follow it in with his Barb King, Queen, and then some bowlers. Gets a jump down, which is going to open up access to both of the Inferno Towers, the Queen, and then he's going to just have poisons down for the Clan Castle. Has a rage down for those bowlers, so they just rip right through that bottom side, and then he's going to pop that King ability and be able to take out the bottom Inferno, and then the Queen will step up behind everything. She's barely taken any damage, so she was able to step up, take out that Inferno Tower, and then he's able to pop the ability. She's going to get that Expo, another air defense, and a few other point defenses down before she finally dies off. And then he just has hounds coming in from the top side, taking the long route to make sure that he gathers all of the air traps on the way, and then he's going to come in with balloons on the backside, has haste down, spells down for them, and just comes in right behind that sweeper so that way it doesn't do too much to his balloons on blowing them, and they're able to make their way through the base. And just as the last hound pops, the air defense goes down, and then he has a haste spell just to get him over to the last wizard tower so the splash damage doesn't do too much to him, and he was holding on to a few balloons that he was able to drop on the backside. And at this point, it's now on to cleanup. Like I said, this was the last replay though, so as you can see, there are multiple ways at Town Hall 11 and Town Hall 10 to 3-star your own opponents. You just have to look for the right thing. But if you guys have made it this far in this video and you like what you guys see, go ahead, hit the subscribe button for me. I'll have more content coming for you guys in the future, more how-to guides, more war recaps. But if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them in the bottom and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. But until next time, guys, this is Trunks signing out.